And without further delay, Leggy, the stage is yours.
What's the deal with airplane food, eh? Tough crowd, okay. Hi, I'm GBA, and yeah, this is FF1 GBA. I'm joined by Demarine because I really like her or something, but also she's also a runner of this game.
I see I'm getting flirted with on stream already. I was not ready for this. I guess I'm here for this. I guess.
I mean, I just wanted to set the tone for the rest of the evening.
So we're gonna play a video game. Well, Leggy's video game, and make fun of her and remind her to safety save and do all those important things, I guess.
Yeah, because I've been trying to grind this time down, and that means I've been practicing. I'm still not in the habit of turning the safety brakes on some days.
I mean, the only place I think that you need to add a save is right before Garland, honestly. Maybe
yeah,
Tiamat might eat you, but otherwise you're fine.
I mean, we'll get into it, but do you want to count me down?
Yeah, we'll start in 34, okay?
Sounds good.
Right, 34, 7, 8.5, 2, 1, go.
I was gonna say, looks like stuff got lost around here or there. Anyway, we're gonna start off right away doing some initial shopping, because your starter gear kinda isn't very good, so let's just get some quick upgrades right away.
So, and of course, very quickly, we're going to turn on dashing so that we don't have to hold down the button to do it. We're going to speed up the message speed, and we're going to, make sure everything is set to as fast as possible. The other thing is we're going to take the gear off of the monk. Black belts in this game are notorious for being much more powerful when they have nothing equipped, and in the GBA version in particular, it's been rebalanced so that it's even better to not have gear. So we do that. We also buy a couple spells. Cure is good for safety. We also grab a copy of Sleep for one fight in the game, and we grab Thunder to get the Black Mage, to do some damage to the early game.
Yeah. Cure is actually one of exactly 2 healing spells we're even going to buy this game.
Again, it gives us a little bit of safety, which is, nice to have.
Yeah. And if you're wondering, but how are we healing? Potions. Lots and lots of potions.
Cool, so the king says we have to go save the princess, which is the entirety of this game, by the way. Saving the princess is going to take 3 hours, so don't worry about it.
No, you're getting confused with Dragon Warrior.
Oh. Right, that game. I don't speedrun that one, though.
Yeah. I hear the rando's good.
It's a pretty good randomizer, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, this is that safety save Debbie was talking about. This fight is, the first boss fight of the game. You'll notice we have not gained any experience at all. But you'll also notice that Garland two-shots the Black Mage, which can be very bad. Yeah. Not in terms of completing the fight, but in terms of the experience routing.
Yeah, experience in the early game is really tight. There are safer routes that take level 2 before this fight. You basically hang out outside until you find spiders, or you go inside and try and find an encounter. But with the Black Mage casting Thunder, you can get away with going in here a little early.
Yeah.
And we did get all of our party members through.
Yep. It's reasonably common for that to happen. As long as Garland doesn't punch the same person twice, it's fairly typical, but as long as the mages stay alive, you're probably safe.
Yeah, if you lose the black belt, it sucks, but not very badly. And if you lose the fighter, you're generally actually pretty happy.
Yeah.
There are points at which we will want the fighter to die. It's really good for us, but that the fighter's there to take hits in front. So.
Mm-hmm. And Interestingly enough, in this particular route, with this particular party setup, we don't actually intentionally kill the fighter off at any point. That happens in a couple of other various routes for this game. And I'm sure we'll get into the nitty-gritty of those while I'm running around and doing things. But for this one, we don't care if the fighter dies, but we don't actually need the fighter dead for any point.
Yeah, the more the fighter's alive, the better the end game potentially is, but also, like, we're not gonna go out of our way to be super worried about it either.
Yeah.
The mages, though, we're going to talk a little bit about experience checkpointing here. The first experience checkpoint comes up as soon as we get to the next town of Provoca, which we did need to remake this bridge to do to cross over. The major thing is that we need to have level 3 on our Black Mage and 4 on our Red Mage. I forget if it's 3 or 4 on the Red Mage for level 2 magic, but...
I think it's both 3. I know that for level 3 magic, it's 8 and 9 for Black and Red respectively.
Yeah, but there's a spell that we need to buy in this town, and we need it for boss fights early on, and B, we absolutely don't want to go back to this town because it's way out of the way. So we want to get that out of the way. So having the Black Mage alive through Garland means that we are on experience track properly here, and it's very unlikely that your Black Mage will die to the second fight. Possible, but unlikely.
Yeah, and of course, one of the things we can do is if we find a reasonably fast encounter along the way, either going up to Garland or on our way to the town of Provoca, we can take it to get that experience. But as it turns out, fighting exactly Garland and the next fight we're going to do is enough to get us up to level 3. But yeah, enjoy the scroll of text while it lasts. It's completely unskippable. But yeah, this particular party composition I'm using today is fairly new. It's almost a year old at this point, which is wild to me. What is even time? But it is also kind of difficult for reasons we'll get into very shortly, and also a little finicky if you're trying to one-shot things. Luckily, one of the core tenets of playing FF1 GBA is don't forget abs. Always be saving. Saving and quitting is actually fairly... doing a soft reset in this game is actually fairly quick if we get into particularly nasty fights. So especially as we go on, you'll see me like saving every couple of steps and resetting out of fights that I just don't want to deal with. Preempted strikes are always nice, because they mean I can run away 100% of the time. Conversely, there are ambushes, which mean that all the enemies get to attack before the rest of my party do, and if one of those pops up, I will 9 times out of 10 just hit that soft reset button.
Yeah, just there's big packs of enemies and everything here, so that's kind of a pain in the tail. Also, I forgot that I was on push to talk, so I've been trying to talk and not doing a great job of it.
It's okay.
Cool.
Though I do it. Yeah. So, Demi mentioned earlier, we buy sleep for exactly one fight. It's this one.
Yeah. The big thing here is you'll notice that the pirates hit the armored characters, which are the fighter and the red mage, for one. They can kill the black mage if they go after the black mage, and they get a lot of action, so the hope is that the sleep sticks on a lot of targets so that we can take them out of commission, which makes our lives a lot easier and reduces the chances of death. That's a really good sleep.
Yeah.
So we're very happy about that. Sleep also increases your accuracy against targets, which is nice. Oh jeez. that one awake pirate tried to like wreck your day.
Yeah. But pirates go down pretty easy. And because we beat up a pirate captain, we get his ship. That's part of the pirate code, if I recall correctly.
Wait, really? The pirate code is whack.
Yeah, it's Decepticon rules.
Yar.
Anyway, so here's the part where I ask for serious time. I'm going to take my headphones off for a little bit, so Debbie, if you want to talk until I'm done with this.
Cool, we're about to see the worst part of the speed run. We're going to get on the boat. We're going to save the game. Stella's taking off her headset because she needs to listen for an audio cue after a reset here. So, notoriously, the original Final Fantasy had built into it something called the 15 puzzle. That's right, the sliding piece puzzle. And it's carried over into the GBA version. However, here's the thing is that we can get some really interesting rewards from this. Big thing, Stella's going to double check and see if this will give her the item she wants. But what happens is that we are going to use the 15 puzzle now to manipulate out. First, we're going to manipulate out an emergency exit. There's an audio manipulation. Certain arrangements of the puzzle assure that you'll get an emergency exit if you finish with a second place time between 30 seconds and a minute, which Stella will have no problem with. And then we're going to try and finish a bunch of times in under 30 seconds, but not very far under 30 seconds, to start manipulating out the guaranteed mega elixirs. We need those mega elixirs to basically be our white mage in the late game. We are without white mage otherwise, which is not a good time, honestly. But this route lets you kind of get away with not having a white mage by substituting a mega elixir, which is fine. And Stella practices this a lot. Like Leggy just sits and practices this because you kind of have to, but you'll notice manipulates 1 through 4 into place, right? Manipulates 9 through 10 into place with 13 and 14, and now we're gonna wait, we're gonna chill, we're gonna have a moment. How's everyone doing? We're hanging out, we're relaxing, we're letting that timer run past 30 seconds, past 31 seconds. Did not get the emergency exit though. That's not great.
But unfortunately, I'm not on a puzzle that is known as part of the manipulation. I could sit here and reset for a while, but I decided just to go for it. I am going to get a couple of second place finishes just to fish for those emergency exits, but also get a little extra money as well.
Yeah, in practice, Leggy has been getting 5 mega elixirs because they sell for 2,000 a piece, which gives us basically our seed money to sort of get through the early game.
Yeah.
You'll also notice that she's careful and checking her time by pausing, which takes away your ability to view the puzzle, but also, or takes away your ability to move pieces, but lets you view the puzzle, but also lets you view the amount of time that you have available to you, which is handy.
Yeah, so I'll often pause at the very beginning just to get like a lay of the land on the puzzle. Oh. But yeah, I was going for a second place time there, and you'll notice I whiffed it. That happens. 15 puzzle hard.
There's an item you can get from third place as well that's kind of handy. But it's not like really required.
Yeah. Like, none of the things you can really get are like hard required to beat the game, but you really want an emergency exit or two.
Yeah, one of the things is that if you played the original Final Fantasy in any incarnation, you'll understand that teleportation magic, exit, and warp are both locked behind class promotion, which you normally do at castle ordeals out in the water. Usually after you get the airship. You can do it before if you really want to. But this route skips that. We're not doing that. So we're never going to become more powerful than we are other than by like leveling up. So the big thing is at that point is that we need something to substitute for that.
Hey, okay, there's an emergency exit. Let's go.
All right, we got 1. That's all we really need.
Yeah.
World record gets 3. Because without teleportation magic, there's 3 times that you want to cast exit in the game. But, well, 1 is going to have to do the job tonight.
Yeah. And if you're really trying to go for shenanigans, you can get a 4th one, but that's, being greedy, IMO.
I mean, also you've got an elixir, so you really only need 4 mega elixirs here if you wanted to shorten it up a little bit, but that's up to you.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is that if you finish with the first place time, and we're going to push it to 29:71, just under 30 seconds, the thing is that if every mega elixir you get from first place is guaranteed, so you manipulate time to make sure that you're not like going too far over, so that it makes it hard at that point.
Mm-hmm. Which I have definitely run into issues before where I'm doing a run and I get like a 24-second time on my... That one was just slow, but I got a white curtain. Which is honestly like super hype.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like we don't talk about the 3rd place items because you don't usually care about them. There's 2 we care about: the Hermes Sandals, which lets you cast haste, which gives you a little bit of a modicum of safety against one particular boss, and the White Curtain, which lets you cast an interesting spell called A-Ice in the original, or Null Ice in this one, which gives you a modicum of safety that is like 9 times as large against that same boss.
Yeah.
Just take a deep breath. If you need to take your headset off, that's fine.
Nah, it's okay.
Leggy, who has been practicing the 15 puzzle an awful lot, is having a little bit of a tough time of it here, but that happens. 15 is inconsistent and bad sometimes.
You can run into droughts where you just run into spots where... Well, there's a second emergency exit.
Did you push it too far? Did you whiff it by a hair?
Just a hair too far. But, like, I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to whiff it, that's the item you're going to want to whiff into, so it's fine,
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, and by the way, that is going to be used in the waterfall cave.
I always find it interesting they use it in Waterfall Cave and not Ice Cave, but I kind of get it.
Yeah, it is technically faster to use it in waterfall. So yeah, I've got 2 mega elixirs, right?
2975, 2971. Yeah, you should. No, you have 1 because your 2975 was an emergency exit. You only have 1 right now.
Okay.
In theory, if you're really lucky, you can get away with 3, but we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
3 is what we lovingly call completely unsafe.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and sometimes you just completely beef them, which is the real reason the 15 puzzle is rough. Like, you'll notice, I am very consistent at getting, like, a sub 35 on the 15 puzzle. It's just pushing it down from there to the sub 30 consistently that gets a little tricky. Yeah, let's go for like a 29.5 here. Okay, there's 2.
I mean, some layouts are also very hard to make time on because you have to have a lot of moves to get everything into place.
Yeah.
There is a meme category on the leaderboard which is just 15 puzzle percent, which is literally just your best recorded 15 puzzle time.
Yeah, though interestingly, most of the puzzles I've been doing today won't count for that because you're not allowed to pause at all while you're going for that.
Yeah, but you're also not going to finish one in 17 seconds, so it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, that's... I think I do one more.
Yeah, one more would be handy here, but I think you're good.
Yeah. I should be able to get this. Yeah.
That was a really good layout, actually. I might have been able to get a 30 seconds on that one. Cool. 15 puzzles done. Thank goodness for that. We're gonna buy a little. So this is why we made sure we got levels. We need to buy Temper, which is the most important spell in the game, by far. All it does is it increases the target's attack power. In the original NES version, it didn't work. Things like the randomizer, but also the remakes all fixed that. But we're gonna sell a lot of this garbage. Like, we're gonna sell this Echo Grass. We are gonna dump the Red Curtain. We're gonna sell... Like, we now have seed money to do whatever we want. But we're gonna buy 2 broadswords here. You can get one in March Cave, but it's a little bit out of the way. Like, a few steps, but even then it's a few steps, and we want those to help us grind later. And by later, I mean now. So, buying two is really good.
I'm gonna save a little bit of cash by taking the Provoca in. Your other option is to buy a tent once you get to Elfland.
Yeah, this is a little bit safer, but a little bit slower.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we're out to sea. There's a few encounters here that I would be okay taking. If I get like a solo shark, I'll fight it.
Monk will fight it with their bare hands.
I mean, I'd punch a shark.
I mean, look, punching a shark is just awesome.
Right?
Like, just ogres, though. We're gonna fight these. These we're gonna fight. Also, I didn't notice that you are in the middle of the Red Mage hit point adventure.
Yeah. Red Mage hit points are...
inconsistent. That's the word we're looking for.
Yes.
Is inconsistent. I was gonna use the word suck, but sometimes it's great. Today...
See, I was just gonna go with spicy.
Just to kind of explain why this happens is that stats in this game, right? Every class has a guaranteed stat that they get. Fighter's guaranteed stat, interestingly enough, is hit points. The fighter's hit points will always get a larger growth every level, right? The small growth being between like 3 and 6, and the big growth being in the 20s. Like, the black belt gets vitality, which means that eventually monks catch up on hit points later on because vitality gives you your low end on hit point growth, so eventually they catch up. Red mage's guaranteed stat, I always forget what it is. I don't even know if red mages have a guaranteed stat, it feels like sometimes.
It's probably like luck.
No, that's for thieves. Thieves is luck. It's not intelligence because their intelligence doesn't grow fast enough to increase their spell damage in this version. So it's probably something silly. I don't remember. I'm not gonna go look it up. Oh, you actually got a full HP gain there because level 5 you're guaranteed to get a large HP growth on your red mage.
Yeah.
But this is where the term like some levels guarantee stat ups for certain stats as well. Like level 5 you always get the big health growth for your red mage, for example. But this is where the red mage hit point adventure comes into play. We want to hit certain health thresholds because it makes our life easier. We have a white curtain, which is going to make it a little bit less squishy per se, but there's a spell in the game that does about 140 damage at a very important juncture in the game, when we'll get to it in a few minutes. About a half an hour-ish.
Yeah.
we're hoping for half an hour. It'll probably be 35 to 40 minutes. But if you're not at that hit point threshold, you can just absolutely lose this boss fight over and over and over again because you don't have the health to survive.
To be fair, in my practice yesterday, I had a monk that had 166 HP get one shot on 2 different occasions in my practice run yesterday. So, like, this game and its damage ranges.
Yeah, so we are currently, as I lovingly say, we're on the Red Mage hit point adventure. Black Mages, oddly enough, feel a little more consistent in how their HP grows, in that we basically know it's going to be terrible, so we don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oof. That poison. Poison is annoying just because I have to go back into the menu and use an antidote.
Alright, video game. Poison is not cute. That's not how this works.
I mean, if they're talking about the fighting game character, I think she's cute.
That's valid. I'm here for that. But in general, not great. There's a treasure chest in this room that we're walking by that has the other broadsword in it, which we're not going to grab. We're going to grab 2 treasure chests down here before we get to the important one, though. So, again, saving a lot because there's encounters in here which are really, really detrimental to, you know, living. Also, that's a lot of steps. We take those. But we grab the cottage is worth 1,000 gold, which is handy in a little bit because we want money. And also, then we also grab the Phoenix down there for a little bit of safety because somebody might die in the next fight.
Yeah, I took those just because I wanted to hit the level 6 threshold.
See if you can get another hit point roll.
I do enjoy more hit point rolls, but also it does make... I forget exactly... Okay, anyway. Pisco Demons. These look like mages. They punch like trucks. They don't actually have any spells. And they literally are not allowed to attack the Black Mage, or I hit that reset button.
Yep, also if we get 4 of them, we absolutely will reset. If we get 3 of them, we might reset.
Oh no, I reset 4 exactly too.
You reset? Yeah, that's fair, because we are not very powerful. It's possible to take 3, but it's not safe. But we hit the fighter with the temper so that they'll do a little bit of damage here. You'll notice that our damage output's pretty mediocre here, because most of our damage is getting soaked up by the enemy absorb. So temper is basically just pure damage increase, which is great. And we do it to the fighter because the fighter can take a couple of blows and be okay. Rather than doing it on the monk, who is going to be our late game carry. Right now, the monk is kind of here to like do supplemental damage.
Yeah, monks in this game have very good growth over time, but they don't start off very good.
I mean, in the late game, they will absolutely flex on you, though.
Oh yeah. 100% of the time. Alright. So you're telling me there's a chance?
I mean, we got turn order, so yeah, there's a chance. You can see with the 1 temper that our damage, which was 10 the first time, is 88 this time. Now there's much less of a chance, annoyingly.
We got it.
Do we get a good thunder roll, or just... Ah, nice.
Yeah. Even if the monk had gone down there, it's like not the absolute worst.
I mean, the monk going down there's almost good, honestly. Like, I mean, that assures level 7 on your mages at this point, which is fine. But hey, look, we're alive. We're doing good. We got a cute hat.
Yep.
Well, we didn't get. No, we got a crown, which is a kind of cute hat. It's not the cutest hat.
Yeah, we'll be getting those later.
You have to be cute to save the world. This is vitally important.
I mean, obviously. That's just how the world works. I mean, Scala, you have the cutest hat of all.
The Black Mage hat?
I mean, when Scala wears it.
I mean, yes, Scala is cute. This is true. Your
And
Black Mage is dead. This is bad.
Yeah, I do have a couple of Phoenix down in the tank that I got from the 15 puzzle, which is, you know, the one nice thing about it taking a day and a half to get all the things I need is I also get a couple of nice-to-haves.
Yeah, but you also saved 4 steps beforehand, so rather than using a Phoenix down, it makes more sense just to jam the reset and try again.
Yes.
Like, we don't have to spend resources, let's not do it. Like, you know, that's kind of how that works sometimes. But, you know, we get introduced to the undead in this area. You can see them outside of, like, Temple of Fiends as well, but they're not really the same. But all of the major zombie-type enemies in this game, after the first set of them in the very opening area, they have stun touch. Which zombies and ghouls, when they hit you, they apply paralysis, which only has a 25% chance to clear per round, and leaves you completely unable to act. This, of course, is incredibly bad, and has led to deaths in even, like, the PSP run where you are already, like powerful like gods because of glitching. But, of course, you can't do anything. It doesn't matter how strong you are, you just die.
Yeah. And, of course, especially if you're trying to go for, like, really top times, it's like, oh, I could try and do something, but instead I'm going to have to sit here for a minute, and that's the run.
Yeah, in the PSP version, you don't even, if you're going for top times, you don't even sit there for a minute. You're reaching for the reset button because, you know, that's that for that, I guess. Don't forget to save your game before Astos.
I mean, I've been deathed by Astos enough times that that's not even a safety save, that's just part of the routing.
Yep, so this is Astos. We give Astos the crown, and Astos goes, "You fools, I wish to wipe cuteness off the face of the earth." And then you're like, oh, that's not cool.
Yeah. Well, the second best result from the death spell went out.
It missed.
No, that would be the best result.
Oh, fighter got dumpstered. Okay, well that kind of sucks, but not really.
Yeah.
We rely on the black belt this fight, so it's just temper the black belt and watch him, or watch them just do hands.
Yeah, the fighter getting dumpstered here is, like, frankly, the opposite of a problem. The monk only hitting for one hit, and the black mage getting punched out is a problem.
Nerf. Black mage must get experience from this fight. It is absolutely required.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but, like, usually monks have reasonable accuracy on Astos in here, but the last 2 runs I've done, I've been getting some spice with my ability to land more than one hit at a time.
Yeah, and you absolutely have to fight Astos because Astos' magic resistance is through the roof, and that actually matters in this game. So we need to do that. Also, Astos. Also, you'll notice that the spells come out in the same order every time. So if Astos casts spells, right, just to understand how scripts work in Final Fantasy 1, this is very important. Astos has a set chance to cast a spell every turn. Let's say it's 25%. I forget if it's 25 or 50. It does not matter. But Astos will always cast Death as his first spell. Astos will always cast Slowra as his second spell. Astos will cast Haste as his third spell. And heaven forbid Astos get to his 4th spell. Astos' 4th spell is Fire 2. So if Astos casts a spell, we're going to die. We're going...
Wow. To answer the question in chat, XP is divided evenly among all surviving members. So having party members dead does mean that you get more experience to the remaining ones.
Yeah, there's no need to like manipulate experience, but you know, if the fighter dies on this fight, you can actually use a dead fighter to sort of fix your experience if your black mage didn't get experience from a couple other things along the way. But we don't have to worry about that. We just need to get Stella through this fight in one piece. I just like how Astos disrespected you by slapping the black mage to death rather than just fire 2ing your group.
Right?
Like, Astos was loaded. Like, Astos was locked and loaded to burn your mages to death there. Oh, come on. You are having the marathon luck right now, and I know this is just a showcase, but we'll call it marathon luck.
It's basically a marathon.
All about the same, right?
Oh, that's death on the black mage! Misses! Come on, this had better be the one. There we go. Okay, we're through. Finally.
Did your black belt, like, crit? Oh, jeez. There's a 209. There's a 14. Alright, good. We're good. You're good. I'm good. We're good. Everybody's good. That was definitely the first try.
Yep.
Yep, first try, absolutely. 100% of the time.
And that's kind of how this game just goes some days, you know? I was doing everything correctly, and the RNG scripting is like, nah. Just nah. But the good news is, you know, it doesn't cost you anything but time. Because you're saving constantly, you will eventually get through everything in this game.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just, you know, luck is a very important thing if you're trying to go fast. You know, if anything, if speedrunning a game that has a fairly good amount of RNG, but also a fairly good amount of execution and thought process is your jam, this is a great speedrun. If you hate RNG in your speedruns and you want to run something that's completely deterministic and that you don't have to worry about things like random factors messing up your run, do not play this game.
Or really a lot of JRPGs in general.
Like, speedrunning JRPGs is kind of a thing when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And if you want to know where I come down on the RNG thing, I run both sorts of games. My best time on this is 251, which is using the quote-unquote kind of a hybrid safe route. Basically, there are beginner routes. If you want to learn how to run this game and you need to like learn how the game works and learn how the map works because you haven't played Final Fantasy 1, which, you know, for a game this old, people still have not played it, and I get that. Basically, what you can do at that point in time is you do what's called white mage route. You go with a fighter, a white mage, and 2 red mages, and that's the safe route. Generally has good hit point growth. The white mage gives you an end game without having to 15 puzzle. You don't have to worry about any boss randomly killing you in the late game because you have one of the most powerful healing spells in the game. And
yeah, basically your white mage just hangs out and spams, what, heal 3?
Yep, your white mage hangs out and casts Healaga over and over and over again in the late game because you can, and you should, and it's not so bad. Which makes the late game very safe, right? It's slower because you have to do castle ordeals, you have to get promotion because your fighter needs a defense sword to finish the game. There's a lot to it. But it's very safe, you don't have to 15 puzzle, you get teleportation magic, so you don't have to worry about emergency exits other than maybe the one if you really desperately want it. It's a very different game than this. This route, when we get to the end of it, it goes places, certainly, but right now, things are great.
Yeah. Yeah, hanging out. This is Matoya. We definitely know who she is because we wandered by here at the beginning of the game because we sit back and talk to people. But Astos had her crystal eye, so we get to return it.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say that we know her because we played the precursor to Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, of course. You mean Final Fantasy Dissidia?
Duodecim.
Yes.
So, Matoya gives you the Jolt Tonic, which is a potion that will wake up anybody from anything. I don't know why Matoya gives you an energy drink, but hey, that's cool, I guess.
Look, she's a witch. She gives you exactly what you need. You know, it's Discworld rules.
So what you're saying is I should go get an energy drink. I should not go get an energy drink.
I'm saying you could get an energy drink if you want.
I mean, I've got wireless headphones. I'm just on push to talk. Turn myself off push to talk, and I can continue talking even without looking at the screen.
Anyway, I'm still taking a few, like, effectively free and fast encounters. Like, I know I'm going to one-shot the solo Buccaneer, I know I'm going to one-shot the solo Ogre. Any little bit of chip experience that I can pick up as I go is definitely worth it. Especially in a setting like this.
Leggy,
yeah?
Leggy. Don't forget
Yes.
to loot the treasury here.
So 2 nights ago, guess what I forgot to do? Actually, no, that was 3 nights ago now.
That was 3 nights ago. Time is an illusion.
It's kind of a 2 out of 10. The Mithril Hammer is nice. The 1500 gil's okay, and the Bronze Gloves, I mean, aren't really that exciting.
The Mithril Hammer is very exciting. I can use it to destroy my foes.
Alright.
I'm not appearing in this film, though, am I?
Sadly.
But yeah, optimize the equipment there, but then remember that we do not need the Bronze Gloves equipped because we need to convert those into the dollars.
Yep. Ambushed by a solo Buccaneer who's just going to get got.
Yar.
Because again... I mean, it's 120 gil per shot, so...
How does a pirate have that much money? Jeez.
Piracy, Debbie.
Yeah, but there's no other ships out there. It's just us. Who else is out there on the Great Wide Ocean?
Look, you raid the coastlands.
With what, a dinghy? You don't even... What? Why?
Lore.
We collect some garbage here. At least the iron armor is kind of nice. We didn't buy one earlier. But we get what is in the original translation TNT. This one it is nitro powder.
Sadly, we cannot equip and use it.
And just to be clear for chat, lobsters do not engage in piracy. Lobsters just engage in violence. There's a very big difference there.
Saber can go, the Mithril Knife can go, and we are going to... Let's see here. I need to buy a stack of potions, I need to buy a couple of antidotes, and then I think I have the money to buy... Yeah, the money to buy 4 Phoenix Down.
We're going to do a little bit more looting before we get to the next town, and we need to have, what is it, 8k at the next town, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, it's 8k for 2 silver armbands.
Because we need the silver armbands, because they're actually good mage armor, and we need it to keep our mages in, you know, some form of shape when we get to the next area.
Yeah. Because, you know how you were talking about taking the armor off the monk?
Yeah, our monk is just, you know, wearing their skivvies at this point, yes.
Yeah, we are going to put some armor back on the monk because monk armor scales with level, and we don't want to have to sit down and grind until the monk Monk's natural armor takes over again. Plus, we do want to give the Monk the cutest hat of all, which counts as armor, which invalidates the Monk's, unequipped armor, so... sadly...
But yes, you cannot fight the forces of cynicism unless your hat is cute. So that's how this works.
Yeah.
Cool. Didn't get dwarf blocked. Life is good. So yeah, so the Warriors of Cute need to get out of the Inner Sea, so they talk to the dwarves who are just like, man, we like blowing stuff up, and we're just like, the King of Corneria had this stash of TNT, and the dwarves are like, God, the King's a jerk, give me that.
Right? Hey, let's engage in terraforming.
I'm here for terraforming. We're gonna lower the height of the sea ever so slightly. So apparently the dwarves built this cave that goes exactly to this one tile wide stretch of land, which, well, this is now a canal. I don't know how this is now a canal. You know, canals usually have things like infrastructure and walls and safety mechanisms. This is just a hole in the ocean.
Yeah, look, if we wanted actual infrastructure, we should have actually gone to the Cornerian royalty.
Yeah, but we're out of princesses to rescue. He's not gonna build us a canal.
Yeah, and like, oh, but it's for the prophecy won't work a second time.
Basically, Steve is a butthead.
Anyway, we have the mystical key, which for some reason lets us into the dwarven treasury as well.
King Steve had it forged so that he could loot the dwarves' treasury, and instead you're doing it because, you know, heroes or something. King Steve's a jerk.
Yeah, heroics and stuff.
Yep, but we get mithril mail, which will be very useful for our, I believe, our red mage.
We get mithril mail, which will be very useful for our pocketbook.
Or we'll sell it, one or the other. I mean, like, we need the money. We get the Worm Killer sword as well, which is the dragon sword in the original one, which is a little bit better hit rate. You'll notice that when we attack that you see number of hits come up, which is normally predicated by level. Some weapons do have, on top of their improved damage, also have improved hit rate, so that you get those hits a little bit earlier. So that sword's actually pretty darn good at this point in the game, so we are going to definitely not sell that. Unless something has changed. We might sell it then, but I'm pretty sure we don't.
Yeah, we don't sell it yet. We're going... Actually, the Worm Killer... Oh, right. That one still wants to be chainmail. There we go. The Worm Killer is going to be on the Red Mage for the red... No, Worm Killer is going to be on the Red Mage until we get Ice Cave. Until we get to Ice Cave. And at which point, the sword we're about to pick up will be on that.
Yep, next sword that we get, we'll get a Coral Sword here as we travel over to Earth Cave. You'll notice that Melman didn't have a lot of infrastructure. Melman's having a really bad day because of Earth Cave, because there's a member of the undead down there wreaking havoc on everything and causing the earth to rot, and basically consume part of the town. So not a really good day. Melman's kind of a hole. Not their fault.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, to be fair, it was like that when we got there.
I mean, look, we're gonna save what's left, dang it. We're heroes, okay? We're gonna help them cuten up the west side of town at least. And maybe maybe the graveyard too.
Anyway, I'm going to be taking a few fights as I go. Really, I'm hoping to hit that 160 HP threshold on as many characters as I can. But as long as the monk gets there, life is doable.
So you know how we mentioned that we care about getting certain characters through certain fights because we want the experience and that's really important? That is no longer the case. The only character that matters for a little bit is the monk. Their job is to lay hands upon everything, and unlike a paladin, when they lay hands on things, those things die.
But you gotta catch and then hold the hands.
I would hold your hands.
Wow.
Cool, I'm about to get banned from the channel, I think.
Yeah.
Did you get Final Fantasy specialed in not the randomizer?
Yes.
I'm a little surprised you didn't fight the double minotaurs with the first strike, but...
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I decided to just go.
They're good experience. Like, a big thing here is that,
Yeah.
like we're trying to figure out which fights are good for experience and which fights are less good for experience and take the ones that are good. I think I would have taken that fight, but, like, going fast because you get a preemptive is really handy. Minotaurs hit decently hard. They get 3 hits, and they can tag your party members pretty good. So we're not super happy about fighting them, but if you get the preemptive and a couple of good rolls, you might be able to take out one and wound the other before things get bad.
Yeah. And, like, at a certain point, a lot of this just comes down to judgment calls.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of how that works out.
Yeah.
Cool, but there's the Coral Sword. It's exactly the same as the Dragon Killer, so for some reason, though, it's slightly better. I don't know.
I think it has, like, 1 more point of damage associated with it or something.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because it's what... Like, there's 4 main swords that the Thief can equip, and the Coral Sword is, like, one of the 2 that's just slightly better.
As you can see, there's 2 hits from the Minotaur, you know, and even with the silver bracelet on, which gives you the same armor that the chainmail has, because casters get garbage armor. You'll see that the Black Mage still got kind of decked there. If we did not have that silver bracelet, the Black Mage would have just died.
Yes. Cool. They paralyzed the Black Mage. I didn't get the run on the other 2, so we're resetting out of that one.
Yeah, Wraiths are decent. Like, the Undead are generally better, you know, are generally pretty bad for experience and money, but Wraiths are okay.
Yeah. And for the most part, like, if I can get away from a fight without resetting that in a reasonable amount of time, that's actually pretty good because, like, being able to maintain the steps I took since the last time I saved is often nice.
Also, stats. Cool, but we grabbed that money because we got to get that cash.
Yeet.
Mummies are generally pretty exciting to fight, excepting you'll notice that they hit exceptionally hard and have sleep touch. Which, unlike paralysis, if you're at a certain hit point threshold, sleep is guaranteed to fall off. But, you know, if your Black Mage gets slept before lighting the undead on fire, it's just bad times all around.
Yeah. And you'll notice that on a lot of these fights that are not that bad, I'm, like, queuing up a AoE spell with the Black Mage and trying to... heck, it will take it. Hey, remember these friends?
Yeah, are we gonna get our revenge on these jerks?
I mean, they're gonna punch out the Red Mage, unfortunately.
They weren't... that's fine. They're fine. We're fine. Everyone's fine. But yeah, one thing we didn't talk about is that there's actually a reason why the party is in this order also, which is why it's a little bit surprising that the Black Mage is having a really bad day with enemies trying to shake her hand. Is that your order in your party is the priority for getting attacked. It's not a straight 25% chance to get attacked in each spot in the party. The top spot has a 50% chance to get attacked, the middle spot's 25, and the bottom 2 spots are 12.5 each. We want to protect our monk from getting randomly decked, so the monk is in the back with the Black Mage. The Red Mage can wear some actual armor in the early game, and we're less worried about them being, you know, alive. So, you know, if the red mage gets punched a couple times, it's not the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, it's vampire.
Yeah, so this is Vampire, the undead in the Earth Cave. You know,
Hanging
gave
out.
a huge speech. So we're gonna beat it up.
Vampire's all
Fires
like,
do the trick.
Vampire's all like, I want to destroy you and drain you of all of your blood and paralyze you over and over again because I'm kind of a jerk.
Yep. I mean, I think they more smolder. Like, it's... Like, what would you use to describe still lit ashes of a corpse?
I mean, they smolder, but not in the sexy way. More in the incinerated way. Cool. Dead. We get a rock. And we look at our emergency exit supply and go, walking out of this place is terrible. Why would we ever want to do that to ourselves?
Basically.
But since we destroyed Vampire, that means that, you know, Melbourne's gonna stop rotting, everything's okay now. We did it, we saved the town, we should get our reward and move on to the next town, right?
Yeah, which is this way. We haven't got into this cave yet. Let's see what's there.
I hope it's cute.
I mean, it is a Titan who wants to eat a star ruby and then turns around.
I mean, Titan's pretty cute.
Yeah. And Titan now gets food.
As you can see, Titan also has very well sculpted shoulders.
I'm just gonna sit. I'm sitting through it. I don't want to sit through the cutscene again. This isn't going to wipe me, so it's annoying.
It kind of sucks a little. But we're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. And we're already deep into marathon luck, so like it's not like we're on pace for anything good. Which means we just get to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Your monk, we're gonna get, what, maybe 2 more levels on the monk if we're lucky at this point.
Yeah.
We only need to hit 1 more roll for 160, so we're in good shape.
But also, we have that white curtain.
Yeah, so, you know, plot spoiler, Vampire was not the undead in the cave that was destroying the Earth. If we actually talked to NPCs, we would find that information out, but, you know, heck with that. You know, that's what actually the old man here, Sarda, tells us, is that, you know, hey, we need this you need this stick to blow up the rock, but behind the vampire altar to get to the real undead master. Cool, great, thanks. So you know how we mentioned that enemies have a certain amount of chance to cast spells? Let's pretend for a minute that there were a boss at the bottom of the Earth Cave.
Okay.
Let's
Let's pretend there's a boss.
Let's pretend there's a boss. We're gonna go back in Earth Cave, by the way. But let's pretend there's a boss down there. Let's pretend that boss has a, let's say, 75% chance to cast spells. Sounds pretty bad so far. I bet you're wondering how this could get worse. Now, you know how we said that spell lists are not random, they are completely deterministic? So let's imagine that boss's first spell was not like a status effect or something kind of interesting but not really dangerous.
Let's pretend it's Blizzara.
Let's pretend it's Blizzara. Because, you know, it's the original Final Fantasy and the game is a little mean at points. Let's imagine you were playing this on the NES as a kid and you couldn't save right before Lich and you walk up to Lich with your party and get absolutely massacred. I'm
sure that never happened to anyone.
I'm gonna not talk for a minute while we work on the crying.
Anyway, we're back in the Earth Cave. It's a lot like the first time, except we have to go deeper. We did not incept the Earth Cave nearly enough last time. NP can be kind of a pinch here because we do want to make sure that we have enough to throw tempers around on Lich.
Temper's not like a super expensive spell, but, our red mage MP is kind of garbage. Our black mage gets great MP because your black mage gets good MP growth every level. So,
yeah,
it's always nice.
Yeah, chat saying this game on the NES is now the reason they overgrind, which... valid.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna save every few steps because, encounters are bad. Encounters in Earth Cave are especially bad. That was a pretty good run to the stairs there. Single metaphor we're gonna fight because, we want those experience points.
It gives me a knife.
There's also the exceptionally safe route of this, which you just there is an exceptionally safe route with the white mage where you actually grind on a encounter tile inside of Astos' castle till you get level 14. This route is not a speedrun route. That route is if you're like, that's really helpful if you're playing casually because it's a mummy grind with a white mage, which makes it real easy. But it's not very fast. But then you can you can buy AI as a level 4 spell, which requires a pile of levels, and then you just use AI against Lich to have the damage from Blizzara.
Yeah, and if you're trying to go for like super safe strats, you can do that.
Yeah, like there's safe strats and then there are the safest strats.
Yeah. And Lich can be annoying, but, again, because this game does allow you to save at any point, it's just a matter of resetting until you break through that wall.
Speaking of breaking through that wall, 164, we did it.
Heck yeah, gamers.
Now the monk still may die, but it's very, very, very unlikely.
Yes.
Especially because on the first turn, the fighter is going to be hitting that white curtain rather than, doing anything else because there's nothing useful or fighter can be doing anyway in that fight. Other than standing there and getting pummeled.
And at this point, I'm not even going to take, the free fights. I'm just going to go.
Yeah, normally you'd consider if you were short still, you would take that double troll, for example. That's not a bad fight to take. Trolls also 3-hit. They are pretty heavy hitters, but, with good physical damage, they are not super healthy.
Yeah, plus, they take reasonable amounts of damage from fire, so...
Because, as I always like to say whenever I play Final Fantasy 1, this is basically D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the enemies in this game are named differently than they were in the original because, for example, you couldn't name the Pisco Demons because, Mind Flayers and D&D copyright and all of that was a thing, and rather than getting in trouble, they just renamed them Wizards.
Yep.
There's a couple of things like that as well.
Yeah, they did have to change the Evil Eye sprite.
Supposed
to be slightly less beholders.
And then they changed the name of the most important enemy in the game in this version, and it makes me very, 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 very sad.
Yeah. And, that wasn't even for copyright reasons. That was just silly.
Yeah, they didn't need to do that, but they did it, and I hate it.
Yeah, Fire Lizard just doesn't sound evocative anymore.
I know, right? How can I make Agama jokes about fire lizards? Jeez.
Yeah, and again, you'll notice that on like that pack of undead, what I'm doing is setting everyone except the black mage to run, and the black mage is just going to drop in AoE, so that no matter what happens, the fight ends in a round.
Yep. Hi, Liv.
Anyway, we talked to the bat because I owe Mega Blood Debt.
But that bat had nothing to say.
The bat said, "Key! Key!"
I mean, Carrie was originally supposed to be a Marilith, a six-armed fire demon with a tail. Bat was a copyright thing. They couldn't do that. Couldn't.
Yeah.
Marilith is absolutely under the D&D copyright world rules.
Anyway, who speaks to me?
That's not it. Nope, it's not me.
In the name of chaos, I accept this message.
Wrong game. Also, wrong god.
Well, I assume that, you know, if Lich has a god, that would be it.
Lich doesn't have a god. That's how you turn into a Lich. You don't worship a god. You become evil. But yeah, it's Lich. All my homies hate Lich.
Yeah, in this chat, we hate and disrespect Lich.
But there's our white curtain, which now means Blizzard will not do 155 damage. This is great.
Blizzard is still going to literally kill the Black Mage after that punch, but, you know, like, it does not matter anymore. This fight is over.
Yeah, our monk has now lifted, has decided to also not miss leg day along the way, and does not die to this take 69 damage, and so is fine.
I'm gonna play it safe and throw out a potion.
Yep, just in case. There is a very, very, very marginal chance that the black belt could get punched for 95 and die.
Oh, there goes that. I'm actually going to take a quick bio break once we clear the end of fight text boxes. Hopefully I'll get back before the cutscene's over.
There's a short cutscene in the GBA version after every dungeon because there are optional dungeons that I have seen but not talked about because we don't do any of them in the speedrun, but there are optional dungeons in the GBA PSP versions that, you know, let you get extra items and extra challenges. The cutscenes are unskippable and they, like, take a hot moment, so enjoy. If for some reason we had gone into that cave at the very start of the run that you see just north of Corneria, south of Temple of Fiends, we would have found that Lich statue because that's where the first extra dungeon is.
Anyway, I'm back. So yeah. Timed it perfectly, obviously.
Heckin' got there. Let's go.
But yeah, now we are on our way to the next town for reals this time.
I'm sure nothing bad has happened to that town.
The next town?
Yeah.
I think the next town's fine. Like, sure, Melman's bit got completely wrecked by being next to one of the Fiends of the Elements, but, you know, I'm sure the next one's gonna be just fine. Like, what could have possibly gone wrong?
Still can't believe Melman got. But yeah, we're gonna sail south and then west around the world from Melmond. And we're gonna find a ship dock out here for some silly reason. I don't know why.
I gotta get away from some more pirates first.
Yar. And of course, we have our first appearance of land lobsters.
I mean, to be fair, they also live in the Marsh Cave.
Marsh Cave is basically land.
Yeah, but we managed to avoid seeing them, which is nice, because if we run into the land lobsters in the Marsh Cave, you'll notice how much damage they're doing now that we have better gear.
They rip you open, like, they're just like, it's like a can opener. They just pop open the little flimsy armor that you have to get to the delicious heroic innards. Look, the enemies in this game, they want to kill you. They make no bones about it.
Mm. You know what? I'll take the troll.
Light Warrior runs up in chainmail. It's basically canned goods at that point. Could you please stop getting these terrible encounters?
You know, I would like to. That would be nice.
I know we don't really have any direct control over that, but man, game, stop this.
All my homies hate this encounter rate. Anyway, get rid of the clothes. Basically everything, all the gear in our inventory is obsolete at this point, so just gonna sell that off real fast.
Everything must go. It's a fire sale.
And then... I'm gonna sell off an extra cottage real fast, just to buy a few more high potions.
Yeah, that makes sense here.
I'm running a little light on cash. Buckler, get mithril gloves.
But yeah, we got a little bit of extra armor for our red mage and our fighter here because it helps. Those are level 6 magic shops. We never go in them. That's just too advanced for us. We are not here for magic.
Yeah.
And we talked to this guy in the funny hat to get a canoe.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you've defeated one of the major threats to this entire world. You want to go canoeing?
Heck yeah, I do!
But yeah, the canoe is really nice because it allows us to travel on rivers. Which are too shallow for our otherwise seafaring vessel. And I hate rivers in this game.
I'm glad you specified in this game because I would have been sad at you.
Yes. I like rivers, both Rivers McCowan the person, but also, you know, rivers in real life. But most rivers in real life and Rivers McCowan are not infested with crocodiles.
This is very true, but you have to use Rivers' full title, otherwise he's sad. Which would be twice Kotaku acclaimed speedrunner Rivers McCown.
Comma, no crocodiles.
Comma comes without crocodiles.
Slightly mad at that one. I saw the text box pop up, and I immediately went for the reset before I realized it was a preemptive.
Done that before. It happens.
Yeah. Provide your own crocodiles.
Of note, in the original NES game, there are no crocodiles in this river.
Yeah. Here, let me just show you what the crocodiles do.
They are very hungry for your blood.
Yeah, I don't know why the developers of the remake decided they needed to make the river system more deadly, but, you know, certainly was a choice that I have to deal with.
The good news is crocodiles only 2 hit. The bad news is that crocodiles have, you know, jaws like clamps and just absolutely just rip you apart.
But yeah. The other good news is that if I just, you know, save scum my way across, I don't have to deal with them very much. And now we're coming up to the... Well, I'll let you explain, Demarine.
This is the Cavern of Ice, Ice Cave, home of the Whopper. No. Home of Death. Home of lots of enemies that are actually capable of utterly obliterating parties left and right. You love Pisco Demons? You remember Pisco Demons, right? They come now in packs of 6 and 7. There are, in the original game, they're called Sorcerers. They are the one enemy in the game that have instant Death Touch. They get 3 hits. Each of those hits has a chance to proc Death Touch. Bloodbones have a surprisingly large amount of hit points for being a low-tier undead enemy. They hit decently hard. There are Frost Giants down here who have not skipped a day of lifting in 167 years, and they will absolutely punch you in the mouth. There are Frost Wolves down here who know the Frost ability, which is an AoE Ice ability, which does a little bit of damage, but when they come in packs of half a dozen, they rip your heart out too. It's unpleasant. There are Dark Mages down here, and they are really bad because their first spell is Fire 3. Their intelligence is a little low, so you might survive 1. They come in packs of 4. There are the undead down here. They are healthier than your regular version of undead, so they will survive a shot of Fire 2 potentially. They also have Stun Touch. They're really not cool.
They also come in packs of up to 9.
They also come in packs of up to 9. There's Mind Flayers. There's Sorcerers in the original. Again, this is a copyright thing. We hate them. They also have the ability, which was originally called Trance, which is Paralyze All without any regard to your resistance other than your level. So good luck with that, because once you're all paralyzed, they just kill you.
Mm-hmm.
There's Fyraga, everybody. That's real bad.
Yeah, it's also important to note two more things. One, the Frost Giants are unrunnable. You cannot run away from them. Oh yeah, that's one of the mechanics in this game. There are just random encounters that you can't run away from.
The game doesn't tell you. Oh, look at the fighter just getting dropped there. Takes 3 damage and just has a heart attack, I guess. Just drops dead on the spot.
And of course, Demarine, you forgot to mention one particular mob in this area.
Let's see. We got Frost Giants. We got Frost Wolves. We got the Undead. We've got.
What's the cutest encounter you could possibly think of here?
Oh, right. There's a tiny, adorable blue dragon in here.
That will. You like the Frost Wolf frost spell? Well, they've got the older cousin.
And Skull is asking if death is cute and or smoochable. Not in this game. Not in the slightest. Don't forget the fire sword. Also,
nope.
Also, I guess I should thank Devious and Firebird Lover for both subscribing, because I forgot that we're kind of here on our own. So thank you.
Yeah.
Also, this tile here, as we jump down, there are a couple of required encounter tiles in this dungeon that we have to walk on. This is one of them. This has those possible packs of 9 undead that could possibly ambush us. And if they ambush us, Leggy is not going to fight. Leggy's not going to fight them. Leggy's not even going to consider waiting for them to do their thing. Gonna mash that reset so hard.
Yeah, sitting through 9 attacks is... I don't know how much slower than resetting it is, but it is strictly slower. I do not care what happens in the next round. It is faster to just hit that reset button.
We're just gonna try. We're just gonna try again next time.
Yeah.
Because it's also likely that like 2 to 3 of your party members will get paralyzed, and that's just not good times at all.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're familiar at all with the NES version of this game, you will be familiar with the Agama grind, where you just sit on the Agama forced encounter tile and fight Agama to your heart content, till your heart's content. We don't do that version in this or the. We don't do that in either this or the PSP version. Instead, we are going to be grinding the I tile. What I'm going to be looking for is either level 19 or 20. I need to hit 19 for sure in order to learn the spells I want to learn. But I'm also looking for an intelligence threshold on the Black Mage, because unlike the NES version, the amount of damage you do with magic is actually affected by your intelligence stat in this game.
And pretty much the only way to get intelligence throughout most of the game is by getting levels.
Yeah. So it kind of works in a staircase function where every 10 points of intelligence you get like another healthy chunk of damage on your magic. And I'm guaranteed to get it by level 20. So I will be going either to 19 or 20, depending on whether or not I get hit the threshold by 19.
The big reason why, part of why we iGrind here, by the way, is that iGrinding's a little bit safer than it was in the NES version, because A, we do have ways to raise our dead party members, and B, Beholder, the Evil Eye, normally starts out with an instant death spell in the NES version. I believe it starts out with Quadex, if I remember correctly, which will instantly kill you if you have 300 or fewer HP 100% of the time. It does not do that in this version, thankfully, so it's a little bit safer to fight Evil Eyes, so we end up fighting them, and they're a little bit less annoying than their blaze-using cousins, but sometimes this happens, and this kind of sucks.
Right. So we'll just reset out of that. Which is unfortunate. I got greedy and...
And you got.
I got Thundarad.
So yeah, the usual resets, these things still happen, so that's why we save beforehand, and we save every couple of fights for the sake of safety.
Yeah, and the real way I know I've hit the intelligence threshold is currently you'll notice that the Thundara coming out of my Black Mage is doing, like... Overshot it there, but luckily I saved.
Is doing less than 100 damage.
Yeah, it's doing about 80. 70, 80-ish. When I start doing 100 to 110, that's when you know I've hit the threshold.
The other thing to know about the monk is that the monk's attack power is equivalent to, I forget if it's like your level or double your level, but it scales directly with levels. So even though we're getting 4 hits, and we'll get 6 hits soon enough, Black Belt still does not hit very hard in this version.
Yeah.
Until the Black Belt gets enough levels and some gear, and by gear, well, we'll talk about Black Belt gear a little bit later. It's not equipment that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. That said, the secret reason we use the Black Belt is in this version, and I think in all versions. Basically, when the Black Belt hits thresholds, instead of getting one additional attack, Black Belt gets 2 additional attacks. So that means anything we do that increases the damage of an individual hit scales much better with the Black Belt than it does on other characters.
You'll see that the Black Belt just hit level 17 and did 6 hits instead of 4, and hit for about 50 damage, so still not quite hitting very hard. We're not gonna... We kind of get close to the 8-hit threshold. I forget if we hit it or not by the end game.
I think it varies depending on whether or not I get, the experience, but I'm not aiming for it.
Like, it's like level 26 or 27, so it's a little bit up there. If we for some reason get there, it does make the end game a little bit easier, but it's not strictly necessary.
Yeah. This grind here is the last time that I'm super worried about levels. I do need the Red Mage to hit level 21 at some point, which was something that I ran into in my run last night. I did not get the Red Mage up to that threshold. But even if that happens, the run is still totally viable. It's funny, the last 3 practices I did were basically just, how many different ways can this run go wrong? Stick around and find out.
Spoilers, it's a lot.
Okay, so we have hit the threshold on intelligence at level 18, which is nice. So I just need to get that one last level and we can get the heck out of here. Because heck this place.
Yeah, this place is pretty terrible. We do need to grab some treasure chests on the way out because we still need money. We leave them for last because we want to get our levels first before we go a little bit further out of our way.
Well, they are there, but... And I probably will grab one of them on the way, but the most current route that is considered like the optimal route can actually forego all of the chests outside of the 3 I've already grabbed.
Wait, we're gonna skip the 10k chest down here?
I'm gonna grab the 10k when I go back up the floor, but I'm gonna skip the Room of Gold.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, the 10k, like, you can skip it, but this, especially in, like, the showcase setting, it's going to be really useful for smoothing out some of the very end game money concerns.
Yeah, you can grind a little bit more deeply for money, and the White Mage route, of course, grinds the White Mage, like, exceptionally high at this point, so money is not really an issue.
Yeah, it's like up to, like, what, 31?
Yeah, it's 31, because, well... Disco Demons are unrunnable, love.
I know, I just didn't want the other characters to really do anything, because I knew Thundera one-shot.
Ah, right, because we have the intelligence.
Oh, right, I did grab that chest.
Oh, you already grabbed this one. Yeah, I was talking about the room, because the Room of Gold is like 14 grand.
Yeah, unfortunately, unlike the PSP version, this one does not have the defend command.
That's fair.
Do not worry, I will fully admit if I try to run from an unrunnable encounter.
I will probably make fun of you and then say that I've done that 17 times myself.
Yes. Because that's how it works, both our relationship and also this video game.
Yeah, Stella says nice things to me and then makes fun of me. Wait, what?
And you mercilessly tease me and then say nice things to me.
I mean, just a little.
As a treat.
I mean, if you didn't like it, you would tell me that you didn't like it and I would stop.
Exactly.
Big secret, everybody, she likes it.
I do. I really do. But I'm also big secret, I like Demi.
No, Firebird lover. It's very sad that not everybody has that relationship, and that's not a great thing. But we'll move on from that.
Anyway, back to dealing with crocodiles.
Hungry crocodiles.
Yep.
Like hippos, but with sharper teeth. Wait, what were we talking about again?
Let's see here. Where am I off to next? Because I'm about to get airborne. So coming up next is a little bit of shopping, and then we're going to go into the waterfall cave.
Waterfall Cave is like a lot less bad, I guess. But yeah, now that we have finished up the Cave of Ice, one of the important items that we got down there that we didn't talk about was another rock. A weird octahedral rock. So we're going to summon an angel and cause the third impact. Wait. Stop, wait, no, you can't do that. We'll get DMCA'd.
I was going for the bicorn cover.
This is a joke for the Final Fantasy 1 GBA randomizer community. Our friend Sealy Faye put in the floater stone as an emote, but named it Ramiel, and it amuses me every single time I see it.
Yes. It's incredible.
Faye is great. Like, really great, and does not get enough credit for being really great.
Indeed.
I don't think Fair is here, but just in case, Fair is a sweetheart. And is wonderful.
Yee.
Cool, we got an airship. Let's blow this popsicle stand.
Yeah, anyway, we're back at Elfland.
Wait, what are we doing back in Elfland? Didn't we like wake the king up and help them already? We don't need to come back here.
Yeah. Let's see, how am I doing on gold needles? Okay. Since I'm here, I'll more antidotes. I don't know. Hey, look, here's another magic shop. I think we missed that last time. So you remember how we were talking about how Temper's the most important spell in this game? I disagree.
I mean, look, you're allowed to have bad takes. It's fine.
Look, I think Haste is a more important spell than Temper, IMO.
I mean, good. Stop buying Temper in the early game and see how it goes.
I'd start buying... If that means I could buy Haste instead, I will.
Double nothing is still nothing.
That's fair. But... as you might expect from Demarian's comment there, what Haste does is simply doubles the number of attack rolls your characters get when they punch people. And I say punch people because we're going to be primarily casting it on the monk.
Yep. Cool, but we're going to land our airship up here. Now we're in the realm of water here. There's a town over there. Bye, town. We miss you. We love you.
It's alright. I mean, it's no Crescent Lake.
I mean, nothing's Crescent Lake. Crescent Lake's the best town in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We're in Waterfall Cave. We're gonna get some stuff down here, but we're gonna find some enemies down here that we absolutely don't want to fight because every encounter in this place is garbage experience and garbage money, and we hate it all.
And in particular, the reason we do that eye grind is because with the appropriate amount of intelligence, Blizzard is a one-shot on nightmares.
Yep, nightmares are, oddly enough, they're undead, but they're also weak to ice magic. They're hard to run from because they have very high agility, which also means they oftentimes go first in combat, which is bad. We hate them. Running from them is hard, so killing them is great. They ambush us a lot. They hit 3 times for an immense amount of damage, but sometimes they just use Snort, which applies to Darkness status, which reduces your hit rate by 1, so you don't really care that much.
Yeah, Darkness is like the least exciting status effect.
And thankfully they use it a lot.
Yeah, anything that uses Darkness, I basically treat as a free roll. Even if it lands.
We seem to be running out of drinks here.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll be stocking up the moment we get to the next town.
Oh man, are we gonna get a bunch of Monster Energy drinks?
Nah, just more high potions. We already used the one monster in the world.
Wait, there's only one. There's only one energy drink in the entire world. Who created this world?
I mean, the same people who said no. There's only one ship.
Why is there only one ship? I mean, I know why there's only one ship. But ah!
Speaking of running out of juice, I'm gonna need to throw some ethers at the Black Mage for a little bit.
We do love ethers. It's really important that we use a lot of them.
Yes.
But yeah, like optimizations like using Blizzara to kill nightmares is kind of a big deal because of just not having the reset, which is really important sometimes. Also, we get the no undead and just Cossatresses and Pyralisks here. These enemies are very annoying because they both have Stone Touch, which is bad. We do not want to get turned into bricks.
Yeah, shoutouts to everyone's favorite RNG jerkbirds. Sorry, RPG jerkbirds.
But Pazuzu's not in this game.
Yeah, but is Pazuzu anyone's favorite anything?
No, everyone hates Pazuzu. Like, all my homies hate Pazuzu, let's be real. But yeah, in that second chest is the most important piece of headgear in the game, that's right. The cutest hat of them all, which Stella immediately slaps on to the Black Mage because it has 1 armor, and that 1 armor is really important and will keep everybody alive.
Yes.
Wait, no.
It also has a slightly different property.
It also has the property of, basically in Final Fantasy, every spell has an element assigned to it, except for a couple of very special exceptions. Ribbon just lets you resist all of the elements, including things like Poison Stone and Earth and Death. So what it does is it halves the damage from spells for all classes, and if it's an instant death effect, in the original NES game, there was a 3 in 256 chance of dying. In the GBA PSP versions, they fixed that. You can't die.
Mm-hmm.
You will never instantly die, and that is pretty rad.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there are only 3 ribbons in the game. There are 4 party members, so sadly, Demi, you're going to be stuck with slightly different hats, but that's okay. You're cute enough as it is. If we put a ribbon on you, it would just be cuteness overload. And I don't want to crash the game.
Wow. So speaking of energy drinks and bottles, very first thing we're going to do here is we're going to sell the Worm Killer. We don't need it. We're going to sell that Defense Sword. We can't equip it. We're going to sell this Wizard Staff because it's worth a pile of money. We now have 130,000. We're going to buy a Fairy in a bottle. And then we're going to buy a bunch of tonics. That's right. it's time for energy drinks.
Yeah, these were added in. I think this is the first version of this game that has those.
I don't remember if they're in the WonderSwan version, because the GBA version is based on the WonderSwan version. I'd have to check that.
Does the WonderSwan have the bonus dungeons?
I don't think so.
Okay, I think. Yeah, I think the GBA gave us the expanded stuff as well as. Yeah. I think those potions are exclusive to this game, as well as all of the post-game equipment.
And so we're gonna. Well, first we're gonna thank Rex Banner for giving a gift sub to Scala Kitty. Thank you. We're gonna buy. What did we buy there exactly? We bought some number of bracelets and some number of pro rings, and I forget what the count is nowadays.
We roll up to the McDonald's, order a single protect ring, and leave.
Wow, really? It's just one now?
Yup.
Heck. Protect rings give resistance to spells which are specifically death element, but also give you 8 armor on a character. This, of course, is the best arm slot item for any character in the game. There are routes. The safer routes, you have enough money to buy 4 of them.
And that's going on the monk, because the monk needs all the physical defense we can muster.
I mean, the monk will get even more physical defense in a minute or 6, but for now, we're gonna be fine.
Yep.
Yeah, we drop off the fairy back at Fairy Home, and Fairy's all like, "Yay, you're the best! I'm gonna give you the ability to breathe underwater." Why do we need the ability to breathe underwater? No reason.
Well, there are 4 fiends, of the elements. One of those elements happens to be water. And since we're in the neighborhood, might as well. Back when we were over by Crescent Lake and getting up the canoe, the sage is like, "Hey, go take on the Fiend of Fire." And we're like, "Nah."
Yeah, we just skip that, don't we? We just like ignore him. We're like, we have an airship. The heck with that.
Yeah, so one of the interesting things about this game is the order in which you can fight the fiends. You have to fight Lich first, because you cannot get that canoe without fighting Lich. And you need the canoe to get to the volcano to fight Carrie, and you need the canoe to get to the airship, which is required to fight the other 2 fiends. Getting into the Sky Castle requires you to come into the Sunken Shrine, which you can see the beautiful cutscene for.
Yay, cutscenes.
And so technically you can kill Tiamat before you fight Kraken, but that involves coming out of the Sea Shrine and coming back into the Sea Shrine, and it's suboptimal for the terms of routing. But the interesting thing is that you can fight Carrie Merilith, the Fiend of Fire, basically anytime you want. And so we're actually going to save fighting her until we're out of here, because of one very important item we'll be pulling that will make the Carrie fight a lot smoother. Also, some really nice luck getting those sharks.
Yeah, white sharks are actually a surprisingly good experience, so we're very happy to see them. They hit decently hard, but now that we actually have some gear, they're way less scary, and they don't have spells, which is sort of we're in the second half of the game, and the does not have spells threshold is really important, because physical hitters become a little bit less dangerous at this juncture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Though there are still going to be physical hits that, will be terrifying.
But yeah, first we're going to go down to First we run down to the east side of the dungeon, because down here there is an item which is very important. Actually, there's 2 items that are very important. One is required for plot, and the other one is just, well, It's important for keeping our monk very alive.
Yeah, I'm also going to be picking up a few other things for money purposes. Mostly because they're right there next to the 2 items I need anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, there's basically 10k gold sitting in those chests right there. So why the heck not?
Also, there's no encounters on this floor, but more importantly is the diamond armlet, which is the best piece of armor anybody can equip. There is only one in the game.
Yeah.
It has the same amount of armor as a knight's armor. We're going to put it up.
Yes. I picked up those pieces of diamond armor because they're there and they sell for a boatload of money. And one of the things I will be doing at some point is just being like, I want all of the high potions.
And some ethers, I guess, too. But the big thing is that since we cannot equip it, it does require promotion for your knight to equip that armor. It just gets converted into the dollars.
Yeah, and at this point, there is two more pieces of gear that three more pieces of gear that we will be picking up that we are actually going to equip. Sorry, I forgot. Obviously, we're going to be getting 2 more ribbons, but there is one more thing that I'm going to be acquiring as something to wear.
Wait, we don't wear that though. We just hold that. We keep that around. We.
Oh no! I'm not talking about the everyone's favorite glove.
It's really big. It's the biggest glove ever.
Yeah, we'll be picking that up and we'll be using it. But no, there is one more piece of equipment that we are actually going to be equipping that we're going to pick up.
Are we gonna grab the second gold bracelet's in? Wait, we grab 2 ribbons. We grab the giant's gloves, and we don't get the gauntlets because those are in ordeals. We don't get the ice sword. That's in ordeals. We don't get the ice sword in volcano because that's a pain in the butt. Wait, what else do we grab?
I'll let you stew on it.
Like there's no sword upgrades at this point. Wait, is there a sword upgrade at this point? Yeah.
It is a piece of armor. It is not a weapon.
Huh. Why do I not remember these things? Like, I'm trying to remember where the extra gold bracelet is, and I just don't remember where the one that's in... There's one gold bracelet in dungeons. We don't buy one, because there's one in dungeons, and I assume we grab it, but I forget where it is. I mean, I remember where the ribbons are. That's important.
Yes, those are the important ones. The other one is we are going to be buying a suit of knight's armor.
Oh, we actually buy a suit of knight's armor in this route
Yeah.
now? Okay, that makes sense.
Because it's right there. We're going to have to go back down to Melmond anyway for plot reasons.
Plot reasons.
And while we're there, we are going to buy a suit of knight's armor as well as the level 5 spells we want for the red mage.
Yeah, I was very, very fixated on just, what's it called? Gear in boxes, not gear on, shops.
That's fair. Yep. Gotta love the power glove. It's so bad.
It's pretty darn great.
It's so bad for your enemies.
Yeah, they're called Giant's Gloves in this version, but yes, it was originally the Power Gauntlet.
Yeah, because what it does is it casts Saber, which is like Temper, only more so, but for some strange reason, it's a black magic spell that basically, I think red mages are able to learn it, maybe?
Nope, it's only the black mage that can learn it, and it's black mage after promotion.
Yeah, but what's weird about it is it's only self-targeting rather than Temper, which can be cast on anyone.
So you remember how we said that that Final Fantasy 1 is basically D&D? Saber is a D&D spell. Like, it's a D&D spell that is not very good. That like gives your wizard the ability to fight things sometimes, and it's awful. Like, it's real bad, and it's also real bad in this because your black mage, who's equipped with basically a stick the entire game. Right, does not get very much more powerful.
The thing about the Giant's gloves is that anyone can use them. So what the strategy becomes at this point is we are going to spend our turns buffing up the monk to do combat, and
by holding a pair of gloves over our head.
And also the red mage and the black mage are going to be casting spells as well, meaning that the monk is going to get 3 buffs a turn. Additionally, our fighter has decided to multi-class into chemist.
Yo, chemist is broken.
Yes, speed drinks are they give you extra hits. And I cannot stress you enough how ridiculous this gets and how ridiculously this scales with regard to what we are about to do.
And this is why your monk can finish the end game on their own, basically. And no, we're not going to sell the Micron. Don't do it.
Unfortunately, we haven't found any giants yet, so we don't know how to shrink. The fairy didn't tell us where to find giants this time. We got Oxyale instead. It's kind of a diverging plotline thing.
Oh, so we're like in an alternate universe.
Yeah. Bicky obviously is dad.
Are you sure?
No, I'm making this up as I go.
Okay, cool. So wait, so who's Lich then?
I'm gonna go with Apollo's second form?
And most importantly, who's a crate of bananas?
I'm going to go with the Dark Mages. Because casting Firaga should be illegal.
Here's Kraken. Because of the sweet cape, Kraken's actually Odin. All my homies hate Kraken a lot.
Yeah. So you know how we make jokes about skipping leg day?
Kraken, for some reason, decides to spray us down with ink rather than crush our party with his powerful tentacles.
And we are grateful.
We are very happy about this because we get a free turn of just slapping 4 buffs into our monk.
But yeah, as you can see, Kraken can 2-shot the fighter.
One-shot everybody else.
Yup. And if ever gets hit, fight's just straight up over. Luckily, with the buffing strategy we have, Kraken is a 2-shot from the monk. So, that game of nuclear tag is now over.
Yeah, we make sure that Kraken catches our 8 hands before Kraken's 8 hands catch us, basically.
Yeah.
And
But
by
yeah,
8, it's 20.
But yeah, basically at this point, that particular loadout you saw from me is basically how we're going to handle every single boss fight from now on. You know, the 2 mages are going to be casting Temper, except for the Black Mage, who will cast Haste round 1. The fighter will be chucking speed drinks and high potions as necessary. And the monk will be using a few rounds of channeling the energy of the giants before going full on JoJo Bizarre's Adventure.
I mean, people gotta catch these hands, and we don't got much time before our party dies.
Yes.
Yeah, our bosses are now a race to quickly buff the monk and then lay waste to them before they lay waste to us.
Yeah. Anyway, now that we've picked the Rosetta Stone out of the Sunken Shrine, we need to go find a nerd.
Yeah, but you're right here.
Wow.
I found you. I did it. I'm the best. I should be saving the world.
Yes, we already knew you were the best.
Carl.
Look. Don't dish if you can't take.
Carl. Is Dr. Una cute? Yes, Dr. Una is very cute. Dr. Una is definitively on the side of cuteness, yes.
Yeah, anyway, since this red mage is having a much easier time of staying alive, what I will be doing... Okay, good. Is picking up 2 quick spells.
Kiraga.
Kiraga. And Firaga.
Kiraga will let us sort of patch things up if things get weird on boss fights on occasion, or just is useful for healing. Firaga is just in case if we need to like double sweep something in particular in the end game. Yeah.
The one major thing we really want it for is the eye in the revisited Temple of Fiends, because it just turns that fight into a 1-rounder instead of a 2.
Yep. But yeah, we're in the volcano now. You're going to notice that Leggy is going to stay on the red tiles here, which deal 1 damage to the party every step, but also have the positive side effect of we do not get encounters while we are on these tiles. Encounters are bad and slow, we don't want them. So we're going to stick to the fiery land here to avoid having to fight things. Of course, we're going to get some bad luck too, but if you are very lucky and you get good encounter luck, it is possible to have a 0 encounter volcano.
Yeah, you just have to hit that nice sweet point of the RNG table. I'm going to drop a save here just to be safe. Because there are a few encounters in here that are unrunnable, which is always exciting.
Yep, and the game doesn't tell us that, which is bad.
Yeah. Luckily, as speedrunners, we know which ones those are.
I mean, the forces of cuteness are going to continue running from encounters, though, because, you know, that's just how this works.
Yep. But yeah, Kiraga is just really nice for fast healing. But for the most part, in combat, we are still going to be relying on... Okay, these are not on my list, because I definitely am checking my notes and not, remembering things.
Yep, the unrunnable encounter down here is wizard ogres with hellhounds, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And elementals. All
Yes.
elementals except air elementals are unrunnable.
Which is still, why is it that you can run away from the air?
I don't know, but here's Marilith. She's the cutest of the 4 fiends. Wait, the second cutest of the 4 fiends.
There's a lot of cuteness to the 4 fiends that aren't Lich.
I mean, basically, they're trying to use the power of cuteness for themselves to conquer the world instead of, using cuteness for the people. And look, 6 arms are better for hugging.
Yes. Wow.
I mean,
Anyway.
not wrong, but anyway.
That's a one-shot. We take those.
Mage catches those hands first, but, yeah. Ow.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the power of the monk.
basically the monk takes buffs better than any class in the game without any help. Because of the double hits, because the monk gets 2 hits whenever they hit a hit threshold instead of 1, buffs are twice as effective on the monk, which is of course really, really good. And since we don't need gear, we don't need to go out of our way to like promote to equip the defense sword, we can just, you know, make sure everybody catches these hands forever. Gary is known for using like AoE Fire 2 and AoE Fire 3 and Inferno and some, you know, just junky AoE spells a lot of the time, but she only has a 25% chance to cast spells and a 25% chance to use abilities, so most of the time she just sort of slashes away at your party. If we go down here before we grind, like, in the vanilla game, a lot of people would go here before, the intended route was to go here before Ice Cave, and, Gary is known for serving your head on a platter at that point. She's an absolute powerhouse at that point in the game. It's a little unsafe.
Anyway, we do one quick last stop off in Crescent Lake. Make sure that I have all of the items I'm going to need for the rest of the run. Okay, down to a single cottage, so I will probably use that after Sky Castle.
Hooray for Sky Castle!
Woo! You know, I know we talk a lot about, you know, renaming lobsters in this, but I think the second biggest mistake this game made was not letting the Light Warriors go to the one place that hasn't been infected by capitalism.
Is that space?
Space!
In the original, Sky Castle was in space.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
You're pretty fantastic.
No, you're pretty fantastic. Wait, what if Scala were pretty fantastic?
I mean, again, you're just telling the truth. There can be many pretty fantastic people here.
This is very true. Blaze, what are you talking about? There's no war mech in this game.
Yeah, if there was war mech, I would have seen one.
Let's have some real talk for a minute here. The real worst renaming in Final Fantasy 1 is not lobsters to sea scorpions. That one's only kind of bad. The real worst one is the fact that War Mech is not named War Mech.
Right? It's what, War Machine?
It's Death Machine. It's a
God.
goddamn.
Right.
It's a travesty. I hate it. Also, winter rolls are annoying, but we're gonna get away from them just fine.
I don't actually think you can get a 2 war mech encounter in the original game. And I've dove pretty dang deep into the NES side of things. Huh. I'd be interested in seeing that, because...
Was it in the Japanese version, potentially? Because in the English version, it can't happen.
Yeah. That might be it.
And when Leggy says that she has ripped open the code of Final Fantasy 1 pretty extensively, that's pretty accurate.
I'm pretty sure the entirety of Loading Ready Run is driving the bus.
I mean, that's probably okay. They're pretty good at driving the bus.
Yes.
But yeah, we went down to see the elves after Dr. Una taught us the language of ancient cuteness, to get the chime, because we needed it to open the front door of the Mirage Tower, because otherwise it won't let us in for some reason. Like, the door's not real or something. I don't know. It's explained if you talk to people. We don't talk to people. This is a speedrun.
Yeah. It might be like in FF9 where you need to like ring a bell to open the door, but like you just carry the bells around with you. So like imagine living in Burmecia and having your keys in your pocket and just people's doors randomly opening as you skip by.
Huh. Weird.
And Demarine is astonished by my lore.
I love Final Fantasy IX as much as the next person, but we're not going to have this conversation right now. Alright, so short hop over the mountains here. We're gonna land the airship on the other side of the mountains now. We're gonna patch up this party real quick. And we're gonna go into the coolest part of the game.
No, that was Ice Cave.
No, that's the coldest part of the game that's different.
Oh, okay.
We're going into space, which is cool, but not necessarily cold. Except, you know, it's kind of cold by definition. But, hey!
Yeah, I was gonna say, depends how you define cold. Like, taking the temperature of vacuum is weird.
Let's not do that.
Why you booing me? I'm right. Anyway, I'm back in Save Scum territory.
There's not a lot of unrunnable encounters in Sky, interestingly enough. And the ones that are unrunnable are things like eyes, which we actually will just probably fight.
Yes.
But there's just some really crappy encounters in here that we just don't want to fight because things in like Sky Castle have boatloads of hit points, and it's kind of a nuisance more than anything.
Yeah,
We're not really here for this.
This is intended to be the second to last dungeon of the game, so I can kind of see how that worked out. Though I'd also be interested to see like how often like people come into the Mirage Tower but have to backtrack to Waterfall Cave.
I mean, if you're not talking to everybody, you know, you won't know that the Mirage Tower is powered by an ancient culture that, you know, again, taught the elves the ancient language of cuteness and gave them the power of flight and all of that good stuff. This is all the lore that we skip. And also that it's powered by a cube, which is part of a robot, which has been lost to time and is in a cave someplace.
Yeah, but there was the shiny metal thing that fell from the sky.
There was a shiny metal thing that fell from the sky.
Oof. Right. Red Mage doesn't have a ribbon yet.
Yep. Thunderbolt is actually real dangerous. Blue Dragon, not actually runnable. We do have to fight one to get to the Sky Tower. Thankfully, the Fire Sword hits it pretty hard, so we're pretty okay with that.
Yeah, plus Firaga does a decent amount on it.
Yep.
And now we teleport up into the Flying Fortress.
Are we in space?
I'm gonna go with yes.
Can we at least, if we're not actually in space, can we pretend that we're in space? Look, the clouds are below us.
Yeah, so obviously those are nebula.
Yeah, no, we're definitely in space. So annoying encounters in here. There are Death Knights in this area, who very rarely cast spells, but their second spell is Flare. That's really the one of note. Like, there's like rock golems, and they're not terribly scary, but they punch decently hard. There's
the golem sorcerer pack.
Yeah, that pack really stinks because of the death-touching sorcerers. Air elementals are runnable, and we will do our best to not fight them basically ever. We're gonna hang a quick right here. We're gonna grab
Manticores are annoying because they do an AoE poison.
It's just super slow.
They're also a pain to try and run from.
Yeah, they're fairly high agility. They're part of the Sphinx family, so they have fairly high agility. They hit a couple of times, but they don't hit very hard. They're also oddly like the least healthy enemy in this dungeon, so fighting them is not always the worst thing, but they also don't take like bonus damage from any element. The Spirit Nagas just have 700 hit points.
Yeah. I got the jump on this Chimera, so I'm just going to beat it up. Like, I could try and run, but, like,
Single Chimera.
I do want to get, like, another... At this point, we're back into thinking about the future, and the final threshold that I need to worry about of the game.
It's 300 on your red mage.
Yeah.
Doesn't always happen, but it's real nice when it does.
Yeah. Plus, I'd like a little extra buffer on the monk because, like, 301 technically is greater than 300, but, like, come on.
I mean, look.
At you, gladly.
Oof. That was fast. The
Really?
big thing
I was hitting start to drop the save when the encounter popped up.
Right, soldiers just hit really hard. They're technically weak to lightning, but we're not going to fight them because they also have like an absolute pile of hit points.
Yeah. The Guardian's actually a stun touch, which is something that I didn't know.
I mean,
or at the very least keep forgetting.
I mean, usually by the time you get here, you have both ribbons and level, so it's like not a concern anymore.
Yeah, it's not a concern, but it is interesting to note. Because occasionally my fighter just gets stunned by them, and I'm like, oh, huh, right, you do have that.
But yeah, we made it. We're at the top of space now. There's no more space at this point.
Yeah. There is no more space, only Tiamat.
So dragons also have gotten their hands on the power of cuteness in this world.
But notably, this is the one fight where I do slightly different strats compared to previous. Because I bought a particular level 5 spell.
So we are going to still buff we're still going to buff the monk just in case. But interestingly enough, in Final Fantasy 1, some bosses have elemental weaknesses and will die to certain elemental spells. Tiamat is weak against the poison element, so we're going to try and stick a Scourge rather than actually fighting Tiamat honestly, because that's a waste of our time, when instead we could just, you know, do this and just walk away.
Got him!
6 heads, lots of breathing involved, it's not great.
Yeah.
So,
Tiamat also has, like, a lot of nasty AoE magic that she can use. It's kind of great. And
yeah,
just in general.
Tiamat's a really bad fight a lot of the time.
Yeah. So, you know, getting that turn 1 Scourge just turns that from scary into, okay, let's do this.
Yep. Tiamat it's canon. Tiamat and Merilith are dating. It's 6 hands for 6 heads. It's a lot of head pats. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Additionally, my pinned tweet on Twitter is discussing other bits of lore implication that lead to this conclusion.
It's canon. It's very canon.
Yeah. There is a lot of canonical evidence to back it up. Exactly. Anyway, I'm gonna do some quick moving things around. That should do it for now. And now there is one thing that stands between us and victory. Me remembering how to navigate on the overworld.
Good luck.
I did it! I found it!
Wait, why are we back here? This is where we started.
Narrative cohesion?
Wait, are we going back in time?
Yup. We have to go back in time to stop the fiends in the future past.
Wait, what? Wait, the future past? Is that like the past future?
Well, no, it's the future past because we stopped them in the past, which means we don't have to deal with them in the future.
Wait, what?
Look! I've forgotten how my time travel verbs conjugate, okay?
We willin' on having fought chaos in the future past.
Exactly.
Purple worms are unrunnable, but are worth like 1 billion experience points, roughly, give or take, for the amount of effort that we have to put into them, so they're gonna die.
Yeah, so we are 2,000 years in the past. And we're going to go down into the depths of this temple to go beat up the four fiends again in their stronger, full-powered selves to prevent them from ever inflicting the horrors upon the world that we saw.
Huh. Why are they stronger in the past than they are in the present?
Because, you know, because obviously you have to make them tougher for the boss rush.
I guess I'm here for this. We're gonna be saving a lot in here. There's a lot of garbage encounters in this place that we do not want to fight and cannot run from.
Yeah. I got really lucky that those encounters I saw on the first floor were just all purple worms.
Yeah, they're just good for experience. They just melee. They don't have anything dangerous on them. Green dragons are pretty bad. Can't run from them. They do what's called damage poison, which does a decent amount of damage. And we have 3 ribbons, but it still will do about 200 damage to the fighter and 100 to everybody else. We're not super pleased about that. And they have like 650 hit points. We're not pleased about that either. So yeah, we're definitely resetting from them. The frost giant and winter wolves will show up down here. 4 blue dragons or 4 white dragons will show up down here from Ice Cave. You can run from them, but shoutouts to Sonny Wrath. We don't run from them. We don't.
We do not like the ice dragons. They are mean.
We are not here for this.
Anyway, here's that death I was talking about where Fyraga makes this a lot easier. Because you'll notice that my physical attacks ain't doing that much.
They do basically squat. The Death Eye has one of the highest defenses in the game for a regular enemy.
But, you know, still weak to fire.
Yeah, the
anyway.
Black Mage will do good damage at least, which is nice, so we're gonna get through this okay.
Hey, you remember when we got that loot?
Way back at the start of the game?
Yeah.
Wait, are we gonna defeat evil with the power of rock?
I mean, I don't think we have any earth elemental spells, but we can try.
Cool. The right chest in this room has an elixir. This actually matters for a white mage route, but we don't care about it here. I've once reset my game 9 times trying to get that elixir without an encounter. That room is great.
Chimeras and Chimeras, I think that's what they're still called in this. are
They're called
just...
They're called Ryoses in this for some silly reason, but they're just they just hit you with AoE abilities and it's annoying.
Yeah, there's the Frost Giant, Frost Wolf.
Can't run from that.
Yeah, but you'll notice I am slowly inching my way forward even as I take these resets.
Just taking like every few steps, saving, crawling forward through the Temple of Fiends.
Yeah.
Ah, Black Flans, or in the original version, Slime's the rare encounter. We're okay with that. They're also easy to run from.
Yes. And once I get down to the next floor, saving becomes a little less important, but, you know... Oh, wait, no, I still got one more to go. Heck.
You still have one more floor of garbage before we get to the two decent floors.
Yeah. And then I've got 2 more floors of garbage.
I mean, one of those floors of garbage is thankfully very short. And
Yes.
actually, everything on that floor except for one thing is runnable. Again, we don't muck with white dragons. We're not here for this. We don't deal with that mess. That's not for us. We're not all about that life.
Do not meddle in the affairs of dragons, for you are crunchy and good with ketchup.
I would think the dragons would have a little bit more taste than using ketchup, honestly.
I guess it depends how you prepare your charred adventurer.
I mean, I think dragons probably have a pretty good wine list at this point in time. I mean, they got to use that gold for something.
Fair. But again, you know, sometimes you can't quite control the temperature that you're, you know, cooking your adventurer at because, you know, there is no kill like overkill.
Look, I would never insult a red dragon by not knowing, by telling them that they do not know how to char a corpse properly.
I'm not saying they don't know how. I'm just saying sometimes mistakes happen.
I would not taunt them like that. That's how you as an adventurer get dead.
Well, luckily I don't have to worry about dragons at this point. Do you have to worry about elementals?
I mean, red dragons still do show up on the next floor.
I guess
elementals. Earth elementals are unrunnable. They are weak to fire, but it's just a pain. They have enough health that you need to fire them twice and maybe hit them as well. They are not assured of dying.
Yeah. If this was the PSP run, we could just blast them with fire to get through them, but we don't have all of the ridiculously overpowered post-game gear that run does here.
Most of that gear doesn't exist in this game, so it's fine.
Yeah. Honestly, I think a lot of it does.
No, a lot of it's from the optional dungeon at the back of Chaos Shrine. Because at the end game you have like survival robes and lordly robes and the swords, the barbarian swords that only come from the last game dungeon.
Yeah, but I was thinking about things like the thieves' armlets and the J-staffs.
Those are in this game. There is one J-staff. Thieves' armlets are just not that good.
Yeah, they're good enough. But yeah, also, you know, your daggers aren't anything too exciting.
Nope.
Well, yeah, I could also be taking those Earth Medusas, but, you know, they're slow, they can do some nasty status effects. It's better just not to muck around.
We're not about this life here either. This is like the worst Earth floor I've ever seen.
Right?
You keep getting ambushed by green Medusas, and you keep getting attacked by elementals. Elementals are supposed to be one of the rare encounters on this floor, too.
And then I keep getting ambushed by the golems. Because why not?
This is real bad.
But we're through. And let's go. So there's one thing that needs to happen. I need haste to be cast before Flare gets cast. And as long as that happens, I feel confident in my ability to finish this fight.
Well, Lich decided to play ball and took a melee swing at the red mage because everybody's been taking chops at the red mage.
Yeah.
Today. So we're happy about that.
I mean, the red mage is named is cute. The enemies know where the power of cuteness lies.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
That was a roll for 319.
Seriously?
All right, we're going safety strats. We buy 7 giant sonics for a reason.
We're gonna hit our monk with one of them.
Yeah. Nope. That's a round 1 flare.
Can't believe you got 320'd by Lich. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Flare is non-elemental and does flat damage, so it's assured of doing between like 290 and 330-ish damage.
Alright, the haste lands. That's a 317 on the monk.
Ah, we just didn't take enough encounters.
Right?
Clearly.
But yeah, this is why Lich 2 is the absolute worst.
Yeah, this kind of stinks.
Okay. We got the healing up. Now can we get the haste? Okay, we got the haste. This fight will get us there.
Alright, we in there.
Jeez Louise. That was something.
I mean, everything else after this is just fine, though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna throw some potions at the monk just in case.
Oof, yeah, okay, I need to buff that monk up a bit more. Because that is not enough damage coming out.
Yeah, 240 is not doing the job here.
Yeah. Warp is an insta-death spell, but luckily the monk has a ribbon.
Yup.
There we go.
Perfect. Lich is gonna catch these hands now.
Yeah. Little spicy, but that's how that fight can go sometimes. And this is why I have this stack of Phoenix down.
Yep.
Anyway, shoutouts to Agama.
Shoutouts to Agama.
There's the Unrunnable here.
Wait, did we really get fire elementals too? Jeez.
Yeah,
Weak against ice, but healthy enough that it's really annoying.
yes. The nice thing about getting ambushed by a fight is you can't get ambushed by an unrunnable encounter.
You also don't get preemptives from unrunnables either.
Yeah. But the good news is, if you aren't sure, and someone goes first, then you know. Agaba showing up literally the tile before carry.
Yep, the 4 fiends are just on the tiles. The interesting thing is that if you fight the fiend and then walk in the wrong direction instead of into the stairs, you gotta fight them again.
That's never happened before.
That
what are you
is
talking about?
That has never happened before. Marilith just wants to hug the red mage with all 6 arms. Oh jeez. Ow.
Look, she gives very, very big hugs.
That looked unpleasant.
Yes. Okay, that's 900 out of 3,200.
Two more swings is likely to do it here.
Yeah, and as long as she keeps punching the fighter who's going for the self-heals,
Your monk will be safe and sound, not die.
yeah, beautiful. This should do it.
Yup.
Obviously, the dream is the red mage is still alive and also helping with the buffing, but, you know, we'll take anything we can get.
Fighter did their job perfectly.
Yes.
Handled their business like a champ, and now why am I face down on the floor?
I mean, look, that's what happens when you disrespect your healer. What healer, you ask? Exactly.
I mean, we're basically using the healer in a bottle for this run.
Yeah. But, you know, really good on that self-mitigation.
Go Team Paladin, I guess.
Woo!
Yeah, that's another fun encounter. That one's runnable, but everything hits a lot.
Yeah. Plus, anytime you get a big enough ambush, it is just, like, not worth it.
Water floor is long and crappy.
Yeah.
It's just full of bad encounters. A lot of them are runnable. Water elementals are actually awful and not runnable, and they are just too healthy to blow up with Blizzara and some fighting. They come in packs of 6 and hit really hard. Sharks are technically runnable with the Sayhags down here. The seafood party platter still is just junk.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate that we don't have, like, the strength to one-shot the water elementals, because if we could just Blizzara them down, that would be a fairly beefy chunk of experience points.
Yep.
Like, say what you will about water elementals, they give good experience, like, way more than you'd expect. Oh, okay. I was a tile off. Luckily I saved recently, but here we go. It is Kraken 2 time. You remember how Kraken 1 didn't skip leg day? Kraken 2 invented leg day.
Kraken 2 will absolutely one-shot anybody other than the fighter and will two-shot the fighter. It is not good times.
I'm actually going to do this. Yeah, there goes that two-shot.
Yeah, Kraken is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, Kraken still does, like, Ink and Thundara. Like, Kraken's got a bunch of garbage spells and abilities, but the attacks are real. They're really
At this point, I just really, really have to hope that Kraken sticks to skills and spells.
Ink is good.
Yeah. Okay, that's 1,500 out of 3,600.
We're hoping for the next swing to kill, basically.
Yeah, that does it.
Kraken is tired of winning and decides to lose instead. Good job.
Look, sometimes you gotta mix it up.
Kraken has decided upon defeat today. Go team.
Well, I mean, that's what happens at the end of the leg. Defeat.
And here I thought it was the Starscream. My mistake.
Anyway, here's Tiamat 2. Tiamat 2, just like Tiamat 1, is scary because she not only will nom your face off, she also has nasty AoEs. There is no, like, hard and fast rule of how many steps you want to save. At least not that I've seen written down. And mostly I do it based entirely off of feel. But you want to save early and often so that when you get a bad encounter and are invariably going to reset, you lose the minimal amount of progress.
Yep. So yeah. Yeah, Tiamat 2 has Scourge, which is an instant kill on everybody. Can only kill Demi at this point, which is fine. But does know Thunderbolt, knows damage, poison, knows a lot of good stuff. Right, knows Blizzara, which is actually kind of garbage, but that's alright.
Yeah. Next hit should kill as long as the monk stays alive. That's fine. We're in there.
Did we get there? Are we there?
Yeah. Tiamat decided to bite Stella's hat.
It is a very cute hat, and Tiamat does want the power of cuteness for herself.
Yes.
But apparently the cutest hero of them all is a martial artist.
I mean, martial arts can be cute.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're very much beautiful to watch. It's amazing.
Yeah. Like, have you seen some of the martial arts that use, like, fans as weapons?
Yeah, I am not doubting the power of cuteness of martial arts. That's
Yes.
Up. But we're here. We made it.
Hey, it's Garland again.
Why is Garland down here?
Because Garland's here. Garland's in time break.
Why is Garland down here? He's not very cute.
Oh.
Wait, Garland is evil?
I mean, someone had to be, right?
I guess.
Anyway, so this is the riskiest part of the fight. I need to get 2 rounds of Giant's Tonics up, and because my party barely has any HP, I am going to be throwing out 2 Mega Elixirs immediately. So at this point, Debbie, with her 500-ish HP, is going to be considered quote-unquote good enough. But you'll notice that is cute ate a 400 swing from Chaos, and if we hadn't healed up, that would have been rough. So now we
get
can...
an absolute pile of buffs out now.
Yeah. If nothing goes wrong, I should be having the monk buff for 3 rounds.
So we have 2 more Mega Elixirs, and I think we have a regular Elixir in our inventory potentially as well, just in case.
Yeah, and so basically, I'm keeping in the back of my head, like, okay, what skills and spells has Chaos used, and what is potentially going to be rough if it comes out. I'll probably throw it this turn just to be safe. We're actually doing pretty good on the buffs. Like, getting 2 full rounds of buffs off is actually really nice.
Yeah, if the red mage, so Chaos has 4 AoE abilities. 3 of them do non-elemental damage in the mid 200s, which will at this point kill the red mage, which is not great.
Yeah. Luckily, we have that elixir, so that solves that problem.
Saves us a Mega Elixir as well, as the blaze comes out right afterwards. This is one of the this is actually non-elemental, interestingly enough.
I thought blaze was still fire elemental.
Nope, everyone takes the same amount of damage from it.
Weird.
Might be the ice shield, but I'm pretty sure blaze just does a little bit less damage. But maybe blaze is fire elemental. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, because I do have the ice shield equipped, which would give the fighter the fire resist.
Cool. There's Tsunami. Tsunami is definitely non-elemental,
Yes.
weirdly.
And it does mean that there's going to be a follow-up spell, or the follow-up skill in Chaos's back pocket is Cyclone, which is scary.
Yeah, Cyclone would wipe the party at this point, or at least close to it. So we're gonna pop the Mega Elixir. Black Belt doing 3,300 damage. We need to get through 20,000 hit points.
Frick. I got greedy. I should have dropped the Mega Elixir when the Blaze came out.
Yeah, that happens. It's like
It's unfortunate.
It has to hit in exactly that order, which happens enough, but it's still like it's not like 100% gonna happen.
But that is how this game is some days. Anyway, back to everyone have a Mega Elixir. Chaos punches out the black belt, very first thing, so that's a reset.
Yeah, Black Belt can't be dead. That's bad for everybody involved.
Yeah.
You can res in combat in this game, but if you're not using Life 2, which we don't have access to, because it's a level 8 white magic spell, you only res with 1 hit point.
Yeah. If you do... I definitely had a fairly janky Chaos fight the other night where I was doing a lot of rezzing, and managing to sequence it nice so I would res and then immediately drop a Mega Elixir, which was incredible to pull off. But unfortunately, all of the buffs that aren't the Giant's Tonic will fall off if someone goes down. So the Monk is the one character we cannot have go down.
Yeah, this is very bad for everybody involved.
Yeah.
We also just don't want a character to get meleeed on turn 1. It's just bad.
Yeah, I mean, the fighter can get melee turn 1 because they can survive.
Yeah, the fighter's the only one who can survive. And the fighter will take like, what, 375-ish, which is fine.
Yeah. But yeah, if anyone else gets punched on turn 1, it is just straight up, okay, that's a reset.
This fight's a little unsafe.
Yeah, it's a little finicky. But, like, it's... Like, once you get out of these first 2 turns, unless you get greedy like I did, you're usually fine. Yeah, so there's the first round of Giant's Tonics. So next in the tank is Tsunami. Kind of annoyingly early on that second Mega Elixir.
Yeah, we actually we're not super worried about the fighter dying there, and we want to get it off after the second Giant's Tonic volley.
Yeah, but I think I could work with this.
Could be worse. Could be a lot worse.
Yeah, we'll see what comes out here. Of course, it's the Tsunami. So, like, I 100% have to make Elixir next turn.
Like, it's low odds, but we absolutely want the fighter to get melee next turn, honestly. Like, we can deal with not having speed drinks coming out, like, every turn, or the double temper coming out every turn.
Yeah. Oh! That's not great.
That would be bad. It's like Garland knows that to destroy the power of cuteness, you take out the monk.
Right? It's also worth noting that this feels like exceptionally bad luck on this particular fight.
Yeah, not wrong. Like, this is breaking pretty badly a lot of the time.
Yeah. And like, for reference, my PB passed by as we were coming down to Chaos. So like, this has been a really, really good run up until now. Like,
yeah. Like, this was a really solid run into, like, Sky. And then, like, Earthlore happened, and things get kind of dicey. Just for anybody, for reference for everybody, the world record, until the last, like, 8 months, the world record was 228, and then it was 225, and then it was 222. And that's where it is currently, is at, like, 222 and change.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of luck that goes into this run. Like, this is pretty much, like, the optimized route at this point. And a lot of it is just taking encounters versus not taking encounters, not having to reset as much, you know. Like, it is again, it's kind of a wildly up and down run.
But I really love it. This was both... This game has a very special place in my heart for a number of reasons. It was the first Final Fantasy game I ever actually beat. It's the first game I ever speedran. And so I deeply love this game.
My intro speedrun was PSP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is also a very fantastic run. A very different run. A much faster run, if we're being honest.
Yeah, record for that's like in like the 123 range at this point.
Yeah.
But that involves using a game-breaking glitch to absolutely just shatter the game over your knee. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, Red Mage gets punched. That's fine.
Red Mage's job is pretty done here anyway, and Red Mage will survive the hit, so we don't care. black belt is ready to do the thing, which is like possibly 4-shot chaos at this point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have the red mage, heal up. Yeah, there's that 3k hit. Nearly 4k.
Yep.
Gonna throw the last Mega Elixir here. Fighter won't survive. Red Mage probably should. Yep.
Yeah, Red Mage will easily survive this. Cyclone doesn't do more than like 300 and change. Small 300.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're fine. Chaos's next ability is Earthquake, which is a all instant death, so now we don't care anymore. Chaos's spells are not quite as dangerous, though now it is just
Oh!
Now it is time to leave a hole where Chaos used to be. So
Well, Chaos cast one spell on the one target. Also, I missed with the speed drink, lol.
also you mistargeted the speed drink. But yeah, now we just recast haste, which is fine.
Yeah. But, that's the one spell we actually cared about at this point.
Yep, so we're gonna get Thundagat here, which is gonna sting a little bit. It's gonna do like 160-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not even. But yeah, we're gonna re-haste, which will remove... The slow effect halves your hit rate, but since haste was up already, it just brings you back to normal, which still kind of sucks. But now we're back to double, so it's fine. Here's Earthquake. It's gonna do nothing.
And time.
Yay! You saved the world. You did it.
Yeah, and on my end, it looked like that was a 250, which, honestly, with as bad of luck as we got, I'm still very impressed with that time.
I mean, it's still a solid time. It's a very random route at points. Like my safe-ish route PB is 251, and on sort of like the safer route, like the true safe route, like the double red mage white mage route, like 245 is possible. This route has a bottom end that's got to be under 220 if you're really like on it like completely.
Mm-hmm.
But again, lots of RNG in the run. It's a tough run to go real fast on.
Definitely.
I mean, your PB's what, like the 238 range now? Like what, 238?
Yeah, my PB's at 238, yeah.
Which is real good.
Oh yeah, no, it's number 6 on the leaderboard.
Yep.
And I have been number 5 at various points, which is, frankly, my biggest speedrun claim to fame at this point. But yeah, this was a ton of fun.
I think it's important to note that anybody who speedruns has some sort of speedrun claim to fame, no matter how good, bad, or indifferent it is.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a blast.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much for showing that off. You got anything else you want to, shout outs, things you want to promote, or things going on with you personally, your own stream, stuff like that? You want to, go ahead and tell the world what's going on.
Yeah, so let me go first with that.
Yeah, you can find me out there on the great wide internet at twitch.tv/Demarine2. I'm on Twitter as @Demarine. I mostly stream, interestingly enough, these days in the mornings on Eastern time between like 10 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. Primarily, I variety stream RPGs. I've been playing Final Fantasy VI and Star Ocean 3. I occasionally speedrun. I've speedrun Final Fantasy 1, but that's been sort of on the back burner. I help run the Free Enterprise Discord and the Free Enterprise team, so come out to see us there, ff4fe.com. I see there's a lot of Free Enterprise folk out there in the chat as well. They all know that Free Enterprise is the best randomizer in all of randomizer land. I'll put Free Enterprise up against any randomizer. We're better. That's how that works. So come hang out with us. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and for me, thank you, Moonblaze Wolf, for giving me the shout out with Moobot, because, bots are amazing, I stream a lot of RPG speedruns, and the occasional bit of randomization. I'm also on Twitter at leggystarscream. But importantly, this weekend, the Edge Case Collective, a team of queer speedrunning adjacent folks that I'm a part of, is putting on a not quite a marathon, but a showcase of really interesting and queer gaming content. It's our Fuzzy Logic event this weekend, and it's going to be incredible. I'm going to be giving a talk about different ways that RPGs have their battle systems exploited without using glitches. And there's going to be a whole bunch of awesome content of all sorts. So definitely check that out. Additionally, I will be running Octopath Traveler, the all-female travelers, so I'll just be using all the girls. It'll be great. Hot 8 swings and axe for Quad 9s guaranteed. Definitely come check that out. But Power Up with Pride is happening not this weekend, but the following weekend. So if you come watch me, you'll definitely watch me make sure that I'm sharp on that.
Yep. Also, for the Edge Case Collective Marathon, I am running the opener, actually, for 3 hours, which is I'm going to learn a new speedrun. Hey, Stella, you want to know what game I'm learning?
You're not telling me, are you?
How about this? For everybody out there on Fastest Spurs, I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now.
Alright.
It's Crystallis NES.
Huh. Checks out. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be pretty fantastic.
Yeah. And if I want to shout out one more Fuzzy Logic thing, Scala Kitty in chat is going to be giving yet another awesome talk on Final Fantasy and queerness. And I have been talking with her a little bit about things, and I am super excited to see the whole thing come together.